today we're going to be making spicy cauliflower wings. If I haven't said it before in my previous video, hit that subscribe button to get any hit that subscribe button to watch any previous videos, hit that notification bell for any new videos that pop up. So let's get started. I'm gonna get this kind of like together. It's been a little crazy the past few weeks, so it's kind of going as it goes. My oven's preheating to 250 degrees. I have a sheet rack in front of me with a wire rack ready to go. I also, instead of how the recipe says do it over the stove, if you want to do it over the stove and heat up some oil, I'm gonna use my little mini baby deep fryer here. Sorry, I'm taking a minute. I'm gonna get a bowl real quick and we're gonna start making on the batter. So you're gonna get 1.5 cups of whole milk here. You're gonna get 3 eggs in here, 3 whole eggs. So there's 1. 2. And 3. Okay. And then what we're also gonna do is, I couldn't find the Louisiana brand of hot sauce, but I found out Tabasco is made from Louisiana, so we're gonna use that. And it calls for about 4 to 6 teaspoons of hot sauce. I'm just gonna use the smaller amount because I'm not big on spicy stuff. So we're gonna do 4 teaspoons of hot sauce, okay? So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Okay, and I'm just gonna reseal that. You're gonna whisk these all together real quick. And you're probably gonna use more hot sauce for serving and a few other ingredients. So I'm just whisking this up real fast. Do is get another bowl ready, and we're going to get the flour together. So let me grab some flour, and then I'm going to grab a measuring cup real quick here. So now, ooh, there goes some flour. So you're going to about do 2 cups of flour. So there's 1. There's 2. Okay. Give me 1 sec, I gotta read this real quick. And now what you're going to do is add your salt and pepper in here. About 2 teaspoons of pepper. Give it 1 sec. And it calls for about a tablespoon of salt, so I would say that chunk right there. Just by eyeball, you know. Now I'm going to stir this up. Now it's going to be nice and seasoned. Making sure that chunk that I had is nice and tiny. Okay. That's mean. It's always the pepper. I'm gonna now, I have a stick of butter I'm gonna melt in a microwave safe bowl here. Okay, just a few more seconds. There we go. Now the butter is melted. And if you guys don't know, 1 stick is about half a cup of butter. So if you don't have a stick of butter, just a half a cup. Okay? So now I'm going to get another bowl. Here. I'm going to pour it into this metal bowl I got right here. Just it. Then, you're gonna add the brown sugar you're gonna need. Let me see real quick. 4 teaspoons of brown sugar. dark brown sugar, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to use about 4 teaspoons of half dark brown sugar. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. And then let me get a spoon to stir that with. Or a whisk it all up. Okay. Now what I'm going to add is about 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. Just gonna give it a little bit. There we go. Oh, there's 2 tablespoons of cayenne. And then, let's see, as I'm trying to read over here, I couldn't find my regular paprika, so I'm going to use the smoked one. And you're going to use about a tablespoon of that. Okay. And you use a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Oops. And then you're going to do a little bit of pepper. And a bit of salt. About a teaspoon of each. Just gonna move that over because this is nice and toasty over here. And I'm gonna mix that all together now. Okay, so this is our mixture for later on. And now what we're gonna do is work on this batter here. Okay, I'm gonna pull that over. Whoop. Just letting some of that oil cleaned up just a bit. So I'm gonna carefully put that down. And how it's gonna go is you're gonna put your cauliflower florets in here. About 8 at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in my hands. 7 and then 8. This is gonna give them a little tossy poo. Shake off any excess, throw it into the egg mixture. And these should be about 2-inch pieces. I did my best, I'll admit, on this. Now you're just gonna toss them in. Absorb a little. And then put them back into the mixture. Here. With the flour. Okay. So now, kind of tap off some. My oil's nice and hot. I'm gonna throw a few pieces in here. I think I could put one more in this, good little guy. If you do over the stove, you want to make sure that the oil is heated up to 350. And then just lower it. I'm going to set a timer for about 6 minutes. You want to make sure they're golden, so that's what I would do. Like I said, I'm trying to make sure all that's done. So I will see you back here when I've gotten the rest of these all cooked up, and we'll keep on going. See you in a bit. Okay, now that I'm back, guys, what we're gonna do now is that we need a cup of that cooking frying oil to put into our mixture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug everything. I did turn it off. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be smart. See if I have a, oh, this will do for now. I'll do about one more spoonful. That's about a cup. Woo! Okay. And it's still very nice and hot, so what you're gonna do basically, if it's solidified, the oil's just gonna make sure that butter is remelted again. It's gonna coat everything again. So I'm just trying to make sure all the chunks are pretty much down. I put it, yes, in a melt bowl, because this way the heat, nothing melts. Everything's all nice and dandy, and the glass wouldn't shatter, all that. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. And the cauliflower is all done, and it's in the oven. So when your oven's at 250, all you're trying to do is just keep them nice and hot and warm at the same time. So this way they don't cool off too much. So let's get the, and this recipe would be good best for like people who are vegetarians or on a diet, trying to cut back on things. Probably not the frying part, but like certain things, like trying to like eat a little bit healthier or try to. It's a good place to start. And like I said, if you're vegetarian but you need something like this, it wouldn't be good for vegans only because you do have milk, you do have egg, and you do have the butter. So vegetarian pretty much. Okay. Now I'm gonna go get them out of the oven and pick a few pieces out and get them on a plate for you folks so you can see what they should look like. Woo. Okay? Just gonna give it a good whisk. Here, a 4. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do is grab a plate. Get some tongs that they're ready. And you're gonna toss them in there. Get them nice and coated, you know. And depending on how many you would like, just gonna throw a few pieces in here. Stir it around, give it a little mix up. I can grab another one or a few. And depending on your heat level, I know on my recipe book it says serve with a pickle and also serve like a pickle skewer, and it also says hot honey. Like I said, I'm not the biggest on spice, I'm not the biggest on heat. I'm trying everything new still when it comes to the hot world, so. And what I would do is depend on how many people you have coming over or how many you're feeding, or is this just for yourself, I would save the sauce onto the side and then have them coated, because like if someone doesn't like spicy food, this is probably not for them, but you can at least have some pieces for them. So I'm going to do that many for now so I can show you what it looks like. And there you have it, folks. This is the spicy cauliflower wings. Like I said to you before, this will be good for like vegetarians, or if you're on a health journey trying to eat more vegetables in your diet, this is a good way to start. Like I always say in my videos, if I always forget, but my 3 rules are: cook with family and friends, try something new, and have fun while you're doing it. I hope you enjoy making these videos with me, guys. Enjoy making them with you. These videos help me push me out of my comfort zone and try new things I would never try before. Like I said, spicy food's not my biggest go-to. Slowly I'm crawling into it and learning more about it, but like I said, mostly that is people I know, like my brothers and my father. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time when we make the next video, okay? Bye, guys!